Thank you very much, Gene. And thank you for having the Wheelmen and the Whately Pioneers. So we're going to play a form of baseball today, and that's when baseball was 2 words. This is a game from the 1880s, 1886 to be exact. The very early rules, right after the Civil War, was mostly underhand, which is very common with like softball. But today, by the 1880s, from the 1860s, the game evolved from a gentleman's underhand game to quite an aggressive overhand game, where players were taking the game very serious. There might be some gambling going on, which we won't mind. And so just have a good time with that. So a couple of basic rule differences between today and back then. There's going to be 7 balls for a walk. If you get hit by the pitch, it's only a ball. So you could actually get hit 7 times before you take your base. But I think after the 5th time, there might be some fisticuffs, right, guys? All right, we'll take it easy. A foul tip and a catcher catches it on any count is an automatic out. And you will notice that the gloves are very small. I'm a catcher, so my gloves are a little bit bigger, and some of the boys have just basic garden leather gloves.
You have a good time.
And what other rules am I missing here? Oh, foul balls are not strikes, which is great if you're the batter, but it's not so good if you're the pitcher. Okay, you got an umpire right here. You get as you're the batter, you approach the umpire. You tell him you want the high zone or low zone. So it's not an open zone. So in other words, from the chest to the belt is a high zone, and from belt to knees is low zone. And what else am I missing?
What does it mean?
All right. So we request, and the umpire tells the pitcher, high zone. The ball has to be here to be a strike. If it's here, if it's right over the plate, but it's below, it's only a ball. Great, very good question. Yep, fouls don't count. Yep, as you notice, there's no mound. There is a box, as they call it. And perhaps you've heard the term, if you watch baseball, they hit the ball through the box. Of course, today there's a mound, there's no more box, but that's what they mean. That's what it was back then. The distance is 55.5 feet. And that's why today it's 60 feet 6 inches. They moved it back 5 feet. It was not a surveyor's area because they wanted to move the pitching back because there was too much. It was too much defense at the time. It was a pitcher-catcher game because everyone was getting better at it. So they moved it back a little bit. So those are the basic rules, and watch the skills of the players catching the ball with 2 hands. Often you hear this down through the generations. Use 2 hands. Use 2 hands. And the players today have these big, huge gloves, and they don't understand why. So it's just been passed down through the generations. You got to use 2 hands to catch this ball. All right, and I think that covers the basic rules. If anything else comes up, we'll get back on the mic and let you know. So we're very good. Thank you.
Thanks again, Dan. At this time, a shave and a haircut is going to do their final song, and that is our national anthem.
Oh, say can you start Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the whole